Hey y'all, how is everybody doing? I know I'm later than I probably should have been, but I had to do some mama stuff. I had to be a mom. Y'all know how that goes. So I'm glad it's a few of us in here. And I know this isn't one of those where we probably gonna have a crowd because I want to talk about some real stuff right now. So I'm pretty sure y'all saw the thumbnail. And this is one of those that I just feel like it needs our attention, mainly because I feel like the media is being real quiet. Y'all, please like the video as you come in. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Chanel. Hey, Spiller. Hey, Christian Key. But I feel like the media is being real quiet. I feel like it's real suspicious how quiet they're being about this because I feel like this is one of those things that need attention. Now, we done talked about Juicy Justice Smollett to death. I've had enough of hearing about Juicy Justice and his nonsense. And I feel like, once again, we got an agenda where there's certain narratives that they want to push because they want us seen in a certain light. And there's other things that are absolutely the truth. And they are giving it very little to almost no coverage. Hey, Vita. Hey, Patricia, Joaquin, New Year's Bay. Hey, Nissy Rose. Y'all, please hit the like button as you come in. So, I was minding my business, going through the Black pages, picking up stories that affect Black folks. And what I mean by an agenda, okay? Oh, and y'all, please remember to like this video. I can't even say it enough. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Hey, Angie. So, all right. Marilyn been a member for 4 months. Congratulations, sis. We so glad that you were part of our family. And I love you. I think I speak for everybody when I say we love you, but I love you. I appreciate you. Hey, S. Collins. So, what I mean by agenda is like, okay, I feel like, and this is just me, and I could be wrong, but I feel like stories like Juicy Smollett, even though he's biracial, he's not Black, they're still gonna lump him in with Black people because, as we always say, when them clear people look at you, all they see is an N, is a nig. That's all they see. So I feel like they wanted to send a message like, see, they're dishonest. See, when they talk about hate crimes, they're probably making it up. See, it's all hoaxes. Don't believe it's as bad as you believe it is. Like, if you think it's that bad, don't think it's that bad. I think it was put out there and that story was pumped real good. And at this point, we don't know if Justin wasn't paid to do the mess he did because it really put a dirty spot on the Black community, the fact that he did something like that, right? And I feel like they push stories and they hype those stories and they hype the Travis Scotts because I feel like they're trying to send a message. They're trying to pump a certain narrative. Like, look at how these wild Negroes behave. But if we got to be completely honest about it, y'all know and I know the Travis Scotts and the Juicy Justice Smolletts are not the majority of the Black community, but that's the picture that certain people want to paint of us. So I kind of slid up in here because I was like, okay, I wanted to do it yesterday, but I was just talking with Spilla. I told her my sinuses have started acting a fool again. My face is hurting. So, like yesterday, even though I wanted to do it, I said, no, I'm going to wait until I got time. And, like the children say, I got time today. So I'm going to take my time. Hey, Miss Sparkle. And we going to handle it. Y'all, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please hit the like button as you come in. How you doing, Miss Sparkle? What you say, Christian? Very true. I'm telling you, they have an agenda. They really want to push certain narratives. So now, what I want to talk about. Hey, La Chanel. All right, that's our girl is busting down the halls of academia, finishing up her finals and whatnot. We're so proud of you. I just love you to pieces. So child sinus is giving me a fit, but we're gonna talk about these people anyway and their shenanigans. That ain't gonna. My sinuses is not going to save them, not one iota. So, what I want to talk about is Miss Ann Sebold. Now, some of you may be familiar with the name. I know many of us are not. That's not a name that's real popular or can be considered a household name in the Black community. Although some of you have watched that movie, The Lovely Bones. How many of y'all seen the movie, The Lovely Bones? How many of y'all watched that movie? Did y'all watch the movie? Hey, Sharon Fona, y'all please hit that like button as you come in. Thumbs up, thumbs up. So anyway, the movie The Lovely Bones was about some really sensitive topics, death, assault of a certain type, and it involved children. Okay. And then, this lady, well, hey, Wani Willis, girl, where you been? All right. S. Collins, you saw that movie? Okay. I actually did watch that, and I don't watch a whole lot of the clear movies just like that, just dry long so. But I did watch that movie. It was an interesting movie and whatnot. But this lady actually was catapulted to a position to be able to write that book and have it adapted to a movie because of the initial book that she wrote. You say it's a good book and movie. Yeah, it was a decent movie. I can't take it away from her. You haven't seen it. If you're triggered easily about things happening to children, don't look at it. That's all I can tell you. Hey, CC Miller, how you doing, sis? Auntie Eva, you say you're on the way home. Okay. But hey, love my dogs too. There's my sis. Okay. But she catapulted herself to fame and money and a whole lot of it by writing her book Lucky. Now, hey, Vanessa. You say you didn't see it because you couldn't handle it. Right. That's what I'm saying. If that kind of thing triggers you, and I am triggered. However, I kind of watched it with my hand on the pause button, so if it was too much, I could just stop it and make it quit. And there were some scenes that I could not watch and had to fast forward through. But if I'm going to be real, it was a decent movie. It's just sometimes that type of subject matter can be triggering for some of us for different reasons. Okay, Wanda, yep, Mark Wahlberg was in The Lovely Bones. Absolutely, you're correct. So, Alice Sebold, the author of The Lovely Bones, she said that she was sexually assaulted, the R word, back in May of 1981. Okay. Now, in 1999, she wrote the book titled Lucky, and it detailed her attack. I mean, in gruesome detail. That is a book. Lucky is a book I'm going to have to ask you, do not read. If you know like I know, don't read it. If you know like I know. If you're easily triggered, because that one was in gruesome detail. Okay. Now, she sold more than 1 million copies of that book, and that is the book that actually launched her career. Now, some of the details, and of course, I'm not going to get into the most gruesome, but I just want to give you an idea of the type of things that were in this book. She described that her lips were cut. She bit down on them when she was grabbed. She was told, I'll kill you if you scream. All that stuff. You're screaming, you're dead. The poor child said that, and I'm saying poor child because at that time she was a young woman and attending Syracuse University. And so she detailed her attack and was forced to tell this person that was attacking her, he was a good man. And then once he finished doing his filth, told her she was a good girl and apologized and was crying and all this nonsense. So she gave all these details. And then how she ran back to the dorm to tell her friends what had actually happened to her. And they said with her face smashed, cuts across her nose and lip, a big tear or a cut on her cheek, a laceration. Now, at that time, she couldn't identify anybody. They're saying that they did a sweep of the area, and the person who harmed this young woman was never caught. Now, according to her accounts, she says that she spotted a black man. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Yes, Vanessa, absolutely gruesome. This is what the young woman said happened to her while she was still a young woman. Okay. Now, she says she saw a black man several months later. Not that she saw him the next day. She saw him. Thank you, Christian, for handling that because I was on it. Saw him several months later. And he smiled at her, she said. And because he smiled at her and said, hey, girl, don't I know you from somewhere? Like, basically, he greeted her and said, I think, do I know you from anywhere? in her mind, in her book, she said, now this is what she put in her book, Lucky. She said, I looked directly at him and knew his face was the face that was over me in the tunnels. Okay? Now that's what she said. So apparently she went to the police, and y'all know the rest is history. They brought people in for a lineup, and you would think it would be pretty cut and dry. But y'all, it wasn't cut and dry at all. It wasn't cut no dry. Okay, neither one. So they brought her in for the lineup. And Alice Sebold at that time, they said she picked a whole other man in the lineup. She didn't even pick the man that she said, I know that's his face. Hello, happy to be happy. She says that, you know, I know this is the face. Remember now her words. I just knew this was the face that was over me in the tunnels. She then goes to the police station and picks out a whole other black man from the lineup. Now, the police helped to direct her to the person to pick out. And so then on her second pick, she picked out a young gentleman by the name of Anthony Broadwater. Isn't that terrible? Now, the officer suggested to her that, you know, Broadwater must have been the one. Like, you know, you need to pick this one. This is what you need to do. Thank you, Christian Key. I love you. I got you as soon as we get off of here. That basically he's got to be the one. You know, this is the man you saw in the street. Make sure that you know this is the man that was in the area. So on the second go round, she actually picked the man that they told her to pick after she couldn't pick him out. Now, mind you, y'all know I'm always saying people are indicted by their own words. She said, remember, I know this is the face that was over me in the tunnels. Went into the police station, picked out a whole different Negro. And the police had to direct her to the one that she needed to pick out, that she accused from the street. Vanessa say, oh God, no, this sounds like some Emmett Till crap. Yeah. Nisi Rose say, sounds like an episode from Law and Order SVU. Oh my. Oh yes. Hey Tina. Hey Rochelle. Okay. So that's what she said, and then that's what happened later. The police had to help her pick out the person that she claimed she just knew, just by looking in his face, that was the one. But when she looked at his face in the lineup, she couldn't make it out. Hey, Miss Gigi. So in any event, she finally picked him out. She said that she picked the first guy, and this is after she said she knew for a fact who it was. Now, I want y'all to hang on to that. The first guy she picked that had nothing to do with it, she claimed she picked him because she was frightened by the expression in his eyes. What did the expression in his eyes being scary have to do with you claiming that you just knew that the man you passed in the street was the face that was over you in the tunnels? Okay. Now, she said that the police told her, well, actually, first she said that the guys that she identified look similar. But y'all, that ain't true, because I saw a picture of the lineup. And when you look at the picture of the lineup, let me see if I can get it so y'all can see it. It was so disturbing to me because these men didn't look alike at all. Okay? And I want y'all to see it because I don't want y'all to think, well, Nitra just paranoid and these people ain't quite as evil as she say. But I want y'all to know they every bit as evil as I told you. I ain't making up nothing on them. This is who they are. Okay? These two gentlemen look nothing alike. They was a different height, different body type, head shape. Hey, Kimber Monique, all the way around the board. But her story was, hey, they looked alike. They looked so much alike. And that then she actually said, now she's saying that it dawned on her. She picked the wrong man. She said moments after she picked him, it dawned on her that she picked the wrong man. The prosecutors prosecuted him anyway, but she claimed, yeah, every black man don't want you. At this point, I don't know if a black man touched her at all because her story's got all kind of holes in it. Sharon Fona says this scenario that black men are dangerous is the excuse that you're going to use when they try to lock us all up allegedly. The press is setting all kind of melanated people up allegedly. But this is the problem. The problem is, now that this man has been exonerated, this has been very quiet, and all we can hear about is Juicy Jussie and his bathhouse and his rope necktie. That's all we can hear about. Why on earth is this not front page news? See, this is where I get lost. Why is this not front page news? This is front page worthy. This is front page worthy. Yet somehow this ain't on the front page. Juicy Jussie is on the front page. And don't nobody care nothing about Juicy Jussie. I don't. Other than the fact that his behavior has ramifications on other Black people. Christians say, sound like she with the crap. Yeah, she with it. She's with it. I am trying my hardest to find that picture. I thought I had grabbed it already, but I need to get my hands on it. Hold on. Because when y'all see this lineup, honey, the lineup picture is what knocked me dead. This is the one that knocked me dead. And I need y'all to see what I saw, so we can all be on the same page. This goes to that, that bias that all of us look alike. These young men not even remotely similar, in my opinion. In my opinion, at all. I got it. Let me put it over here for y'all. 1 second. So I can finish telling you the rest of what I found disturbing about this story. Because there's so much. Hold on. All right. So it should show up in a minute. Now let me see. Angie said, are we hearing about the Slip and Slide Chronicles? But see, that's the thing. I'm tired of hearing about the Slip and Slide Chronicles. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing about it. Because things like this, for some reason, are front page news. This front page news. That Juicy Jussie was in a bathhouse playing the slip and slide. But somehow or another, for whatever reason, this woman causing somebody to be wrongfully convicted is being held quiet. When it's time to show Black people like Jussie and saying, see, they're faking hate crimes, that is front page. But when it's time to point out that yet another Karen has cost the Black man his entire life, that, my darlings, is not even on the second page. They ain't mentioning this at all. How many of you all heard a great amount of coverage about this story? Because I feel like it wasn't covered well at all. Miss Gigi said, another Karen telling a whole Swiss cheese wheel of lies on our Black men. All Black people do not look alike, contrary to clear folks' thoughts. It's true. It is very true. Y'all thumbs up as you come in, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. But the issue was, she based, the conviction was based on her identifying him. Her idea of this man was the main thing that convicted him, plus the fact they had some stuff that they're now calling junk science, which it was crap anyway, talking about a microscopic hair analysis. What the heck is that? But in any event, that's what it was based on. But it's like when you have an ID that is that questionable, that should have never made it to court. The fact that she claims she knew for a fact and then turned right around and then picked the wrong person, and the police detectives had to tell her who to pick, is a problem. You say you never heard of the story at all. Right. And we need to hear about this. A lot of us have watched her works on the screen. Sharon say they will never mention Blacks being innocent. Oh yeah, when it's time to say you're guilty, they're very loud. But when you're innocent or exonerated, then that's spoken of in a hushed tone. Okay, say I didn't hear this at all. That's crazy after how popular the movie was. Right. How much money she's made for it. You saw a brief snippet. Plum, thank you so much for the super chat. I thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Okay. Yes. Kimber Monique said, I never heard this story. I mean, never ever. Right. And this like just happened. This should have been splashed across the front page, just like they splashed Juicy Jussie. But that's not what took place, Kim folks. That ain't what happened at all. Hey, Chris Stephanie Stroud. Lala say they love grouping us together and making false claims. Right. Miss Sparkle, you ain't never heard of me neither. Hey, D. Marie. Love my dogs too said, well, I guess they thought any brother would do. That's exactly what they thought. Precisely. We don't, at this point, you can't prove to me that a black man touched her. You can't prove it to me. But now let me share this screen because I want y'all to see what I saw. Give me just a second. Oh, child. Y'all bear with me. So, this is the lineup picture. Can y'all see my cursor? Y'all see my little cursor, my arrow? Okay. This is the first person that she accused. This gentleman right here. This one. This is the young man whose life was taken away based on her story. This man is shorter. His head shape is completely different. His eyes are different. His face is different. His neck is shorter. His shoulders are more broad. So basically, the only thing that was similar was that they're black. That's it. You're both black. And she claimed that the shorter gentleman, that the look in his eyes was frightening. So that's why she picked him. Because the look in his eyes was frightening? Really, ma'am? Really? She, the movie that a lot of people know her for is The Lovely Bones with Mark Wahlberg. Miss Gigi say, we may not have heard of this particular story, but we've heard this all our lives. Nothing new for suppressed news about innocent black people. Yes, completely different men. Completely different. Okay? So, I just wanted y'all to see that so you have some perspective. I want y'all to really have some perspective on what's going on, okay? So, fast forward. They locked this man up. They took his life away from him based on her IDing him with a faulty lineup where the police is basically telling her, wait, that's not the guy you said you know was him. They picked the other one, okay? And the fact that it's microscopic hair analysis at the time, and that has been debunked as junk science. And this is according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Okay, D. Marie, it was thrown out. That's the whole point. They threw it out. The man has been completely exonerated, and they still are very quiet about it in the media. All we keep hearing about is Juicy Jussie in the bathhouse. And as you said, the Slip and Slide Chronicles. And just say, I can't watch this because I'm going to go on the Slap a Karen tour. Don't break a nail, girl. Deborah Randall say, any old ninja will do. Conviction. That's exactly what they did. So listen. So this man was locked up. Now, this crime took place in 1981. This fellow was not released from prison until 1998. I want y'all to really make that make sense. So this is a whole lot of years. This is the better part of 20 years that this man has had to forfeit out of his life. Okay? He remained on the sex registry, working and having to work as a trash hauler and a handyman. Like his entire life was crippled. While on the flip side, Miss Thing became a millionaire from telling this story, writing it in a book, and selling over 1 million copies. And then went on to write The Lovely Bones and The Almost Moon and made plenty of money from those other ones. But the book that she wrote about this encounter named Lucky is where she made a name for herself. That's where she made a name for herself, telling this story. Okay, Dana Cutler said that's a life sentence. Doggone near, because his life is shot after that. Okay, now in 2002, that's when she finally published The Lovely Bones. That one sold over 5 million copies, made her 60 million in sales. But remember, don't forget how she got there. Lovely Bones wasn't her first work. And what made her name was her account of this situation. Okay, you say this is so horrible and unfortunately so common. It is. Christian Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you supporting the stream, sis. That's love. I appreciate you. Miss MO1, hey boo, says, notice how the media barely spoke about Josh Duggar being convicted of child SA, but this story was buried. Yes, completely buried. Completely. Okay? But that ain't all, Ken folks. That ain't all. So this thing decided that she was going to let Netflix make the book Lucky, the first book where she made her name for herself, into a Netflix movie. Ain't that something? Do y'all realize that she had decided to make that book her account of what happened to her in May of 1981? The fact that she decided to make it into a movie is how she got caught. Hey, Nomi S. That's how she got caught, because she was going to make some more money off telling this story that was highly fictitious. Now, can I say she wasn't assaulted? No, I can't. And I wouldn't dare to, because I don't know what happened to her. We do know, however, this man ain't do nothing to her. And I'll tell you something else. I doubt that any black man touched her. I do. Far too frequently, it has been easy to point the finger at the nearest black man and say, he did it. When their children are murdered, he did it. If someone is sexually assaulted, he did it. If somebody robs something, he did it. If you get shot, he did it. But in reality, we've heard too many times, time after time, ad nauseum, where it just ain't the truth, y'all. So it gets worse and worse, just evil. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Miss Believe. Vanessa says, sweet Jesus, she became a millionaire and that black man's life became a disaster. You better say it again. Okay? Thank you for the bullseyes, Dana. Y'all hit me with a bullseye if I'm on point. Nomi S says, hey, love, proud of you, Seanitra. You're doing your thing. I appreciate you being here. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell. And y'all remember to like this video. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Love my dogs too. Say, this is what angers me. The years spent in prison before being exonerated. Just wasted time. And a wasted life. And a wasted life. Okay? Miss Gigi say he should be able to sue for the profits from that book and movie for her horrible lie. I think so. I think so. Lala say this is definitely giving me Emmett Till vibes. It gave me some vibes. It gave me a lot of them. Hey, Jesse X. So let me get back to this story. This is how the hell I got caught, y'all. So she decided she gonna partner with Netflix in 02. Well, I'm sorry, not 02, in 2019. And they started, working it out. Because y'all know when they start adapting books to film, they have to write a screenplay. There's always an adaptation, a film adaptation of a book. Like some of us read The Lord of the Rings and then we watched the movie. And if you notice, sometimes there's some things that's left out. Sometimes they add some things in for creative license to make it more entertaining on screen. And so they began the process for this back in 2019. Okay. So when she decided to do that, she ended up running into a gentleman by the name of Tim Mucciante or Mucciante. I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly, but that's just what it is. He's the producer. And so while they were adapting from book to film, he noticed it was a whole lot of inconsistencies after seeing the script that was wildly different from what was in the book. It was like she didn't want to put what she put in the book on the screen. Okay. Now he said this is too different, way too different. So this man hired a private investigator to investigate what really happened back in May of 1981. Okay. Then he turned around and he tracked down the gentleman in question, Mr. Anthony Broadwater. Now, eventually he ended up connecting that victim, because Anthony Broadwater is a victim. He's definitely a victim. Okay. Anthony Broadwater was then connected with a lawyer, Mr. J. David Hammond, and then they brought in a defense attorney to help as well. Now, the private investigator found a suspect that actually possibly could have done it. Okay. And after they did all the investigations, actually found a suspect. And mind you, over 20 years later, the PI, who is not a police officer, was able to find evidence and a suspect and turn it over to the police. Yet the police didn't manage to do so. They took her word because I remind you, she said, I knew for a fact that this was the face that was over me in the tunnels. Okay, remember that. After she went in there and picked somebody that looked completely different and had to be steered in the direction of the person that she claimed she knew was the face that was over her in the tunnels. Okay, I just want y'all to keep that in the front of your mind. The investigator and them, hey, Red Majestic Diva, they turned all the information over to the Syracuse police, and now the Syracuse police don't want to confirm or deny that they reopened the case. My thing is, if they did the work for you, they spent the money, they beat the pavement, they handed it all over to you, why can't you confirm or deny that the case is open? See, I feel like the Syracuse Police Department don't want to reopen the case because they don't want to admit that there was a huge and a gross miscarriage of justice. There were all kinds of ethics violations on the part of the police, on the part of the DA, and on the part of this rabbit hole right here. I almost called her something else. See, this is the type of stuff that makes it hard for people to take stuff serious when people say, hey, this person attacked me. Because you got gutter snipes like this tramp that said, I know for a fact that this was the face that was over me in doggone tunnels. That's what I'm going to keep sticking with because that's what she said. Now, Muciante tracked down Broadwater after he got fired from Netflix in a casting disagreement. They called it a casting disagreement. Hey, Nacho Twins. They called it a casting disagreement. But if you ask me, they probably fired that man because he went to pointing out it's some discrepancies in this hooker story. Okay? She got caught because she tried to make even more money from the lie she doggone told. Even more. Like the money you made wasn't enough. You made millions while this man lived in a derelict shack. When I saw the picture of the man's house, I got so mad I could have cussed. It was horrible. This man talks about the fact that he was treated like a pariah. Not even 10 people that he knew would even allow him in their home because you the man that's around here stealing pennies. Hey, Allison, just saw you. He managed to get married, but told his wife, no, I don't want no children because I don't want my children to have to walk around with that kind of stigma over their head because y'all the children of the man that was snatching panties in 81 and this boy ain't did nothing. Anything that could have been made from his life, we'll never know. We could assume a million things. Hey, Bianca Edwards, we could assume that he was going to be a school teacher, a barber. He could have decided he was going to open up a boys and girls club. He could have been your neighborhood weed dealer. We don't know what he could have been because nobody gave him an opportunity to prove it and bear it out. This young man's entire life was taken and now he hauling trash. Hello, good night. And working as a handyman doing odd jobs while the heifer who lied on him is comfortably with millions of dollars and in the process of trying to get millions more off of this same lie. Miss MO1 say, I hope that producer got fired. They got fired, goes on to make a documentary about it. I hope he does too. You say she profited off that poor man's soul. Yes. All he did was speak to her and it cost him his life. Okay, and then y'all wonder why so much tell you to stay out them people's face. Stay out their face. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I got for that. Stay out of their doggone face. But he didn't even know that the lady had wrote the book. That's how much he didn't know. He didn't even know the lady wrote the book. Told a lie on him, took his life, and he didn't even know she was making money off the lie. Yeah, his future was ruined, stolen, and forfeited. Is what it was. Okay? Now, what's funny is, what about the prosecutorial misconduct? See, that's why they don't want to reopen this case. Because, see, the DA knew this was dirty. They knew that was not a righteous ID, but they used it anyway. All the police that was involved, if they still alive, they need to be charged too. They need to be charged too. And then she sat there and she says that the police told her that Broadwater and the man that was next to him, they just look alike and they friends and they came in together because they trying to trick you. That don't even sound right, baby. That don't sound right. The police ain't told you them two men that look completely different came there to trick you. You picked the wrong person because you was lying. Now I'm gonna tell you also where she messed up. When she went to go to try to make even more money off of this man's pain, because even once he heard that it had been, put in the book, he didn't want to know nothing about it. He didn't want to hear about it. He never even realized how deep it ran and how much she made from ruining his life. But when she went to Netflix to get the even more money, and I do mean the even more money, come to find out, the producer, Tim Mucciante, you was trained as a lawyer. That's why he went to picking up on the details that something wasn't right. La, what you say? Oh, what a tangle web we weave when we choose to deceive. Right. When first we practice to deceive. Amen. That man was trained as a lawyer, so he caught a lot of the crap. He been, and the fact that this man said he didn't even want to have, he wanted children, but he didn't want to bring no children in the world for them to be attacked and have that stigma placed on them. And get this, even though this man has been exonerated, that's not going to remove the stigma. You know why? Because the media is being very quiet about the fact that y'all put an innocent man in prison for the better part of 20 years. So as far as anybody in his area knows, he's still the panty snatcher. They're not putting it out there and making it front page news. They're not splashing that. They too busy splashing Juicy Jussie and Miss Seeley, Travis Scott, to splash this on the front page. And this here is front page worthy. Okay? Now, what's funny is that this cow, and I'm not even finna be nice about it, because that's the way I see her. This cow had the audacity, and I do mean the good gall, to say that she's so sorry. She apologized. Ma'am, how much is your apology worth? Hey, Ashanti. She said, I hope he writes a book about his story when any black man would do. Yep, that's exactly what he need to write. That's exactly what he needs to write. I want to get to because she said that she called the book lucky because they told her she was lucky to be alive. This man's 61 years old and just getting out of prison after you done told him lies. I'm trying to get to her apology because I want y'all to hear what she had to say. Hold on. I want y'all to hear it in her own words. This cow is insufferable. She is an insufferable cow. This is what the cow said. Yes, Miss MO1, she said she apologized after taking somebody's life from them. Okay? You say absolutely need to write a book. Okay? So, excuse my cough, y'all. The cow says, moo, my bad. First, I want to say that I'm truly sorry to Anthony Broadwater, and I deeply regret what you have been through. This is what she wrote on Tuesday, y'all. I'm sorry, most of all, for the fact that the life you could have led was unjustly robbed from you. Hey, Glennis. And I know that no apology can change what happened to you and never will. And says that she will remain sorry for the rest of her life. And what she say? Then she say, it's taken me these past 8 days to comprehend how this could have happened. I will continue to struggle with the role that I unwittingly played. Unwittingly? You see this? I want y'all to catch this now. She said she struggled with the role that she unwittingly played. within a system that sent an innocent man to jail. Do y'all see how this heifer giving her self-absolution during this thing? I'm going to read it again. Let me get some of y'all's comments real quick. And then I'm going to read this thing again because I want y'all to get this. Dana say, how do you say sorry when you're taking someone's whole life? Girl. Glennon say all involved should go directly to jail. Right. For the exact amount of time that he did plus 5 years. D. Marie say she means what she put him through. Shaking my head, not they. Right. She's exonerating herself. The man has been proven innocent. So now she's going to exonerate herself. Angie say she should remain in jail for the rest of her days. Yes, she should. Nacho Twins mama say no accountability. It's like apologizing sorry if I hurt you. Child, this heifer saying sorry if someone hurt you. She ain't even saying if I hurt you. Yeah, it ain't none of her fault. It's everybody but her. Say she's sorry, but she ain't come out her pocket. Sorry, can't pay a bill or bring back the life this heifer took from him. And she's not, I'm telling you, he need to sue her for every penny she got and a mammy too. But let me read y'all what this cow said one more time because I want to make sure we got this, y'all. She said, first, I want to say that I am truly sorry to Anthony Broadwater, and I deeply regret what you have been through. I am sorry most of all for the fact that the life you could have led was unjustly robbed from you, and I know that no apology can change what happened to you and never will. I will remain sorry for the rest of my life. It has taken me these past 8 days to comprehend how this could have happened. I will continue to struggle with the role that I unwittingly played in a system that sent an innocent man to jail. Okay, now let me tell y'all what this should have said. Glennon say clear woman privilege to the maximum. Facts. Now, instead of saying, I'm sorry to Mr. Anthony Broadwater, I deeply regret what you've been through, it should have said, I'm sorry, I deeply regret what I put you through. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, most of all, for the fact that the life you could have led was unjustly robbed from you, and I know no apology can change what happened to you and never will. Hey, J Melody, what's going on? I'm so glad you're here. All right, y'all, we got some masculinity in the chat. We done hit the jackpot. Instead of saying that, what she should have said was, I'm sorry most of all for the life that you could have led because I unjustly robbed you of that. And I know no apology can change what happened to you because of me. And it never will. And I'm going to be sorry for the rest of my life. Okay? And at the end, when she say, I will continue to struggle with the role that I unwittingly played within a system that sent an innocent man to jail, what she should have said is, I struggle with the fact that I lied on you and sent you to jail and the system helped me do it. Now, that's what should have been in her apology. But that ain't what was in Alice Sebold's apology. What I heard in Alice Sebold's apology was the regretful half apology of a clear woman that got caught lying on a black man after you took almost 20 years of his life. Can you dig that, Niecy Rose? She said just 8 days. She didn't mean any of the words she spoke. No, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it at all. Lala say sue her for yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and then some. Thank you. I'm trying to understand, for the life of me, how do you call that an apology? Let's really cover this thing. You were attacked, so you say. And at this point, I have to say, so you say. My mama told me when you practice lying, everything you say gets called into question. Okay? However, you were attacked in May of 1981, so you say. You were attacked, you had lacerations, cuts, your hair was matted with dirt and leaves, so you say. You were made to talk to the person who attacked you, so you say. You claimed that this person apologized to you tearfully while crying, so you say. And then you ran to your dorm and told your friends what happened to you, so you say. Then you say, Several months later, y'all, this wasn't 2 or 3 days. Several months later, you saw a black man that smiled at you and said, "Do I know you from anywhere?" And you said that you knew for a fact that this was the face that was over you in the tunnels. You then proceeded, clear woman, to the police station when they picked up this gentleman, and you picked out the wrong person in the lineup, and the police had to tell you which person to pick. You claim now that you knew minutes after the fact that you had picked the wrong person. But you said, "Oh, well, you know, the justice system would work it. It would work it out," is what she said. Then after this man was released, his life is ruined. He's working as a trash hauler and a handyman. Meanwhile, you've made millions upon millions upon millions and built your foundation of a career as an author off of all these lies that you put in this book. And I said lies, and I mean lies, because we can't substantiate any of it. How can we? When there's so many, as Tim Mucciante said, inconsistencies. And you were only caught not because you had a crisis of conscience, not because, hey, it's so many years later. I was a scared girl back then, but I'm full grown. I got money. I'm self-assured. I'm confident. I'm going to go in and say, look, I feel some type of way about the fact that it never set right with me that this man was guilty. No, you were not only okay with it, Madam Clear Lady, you were okay enough that you wanted to go and make even more money off the lies you told, because you're going to partner with Netflix to make a Netflix movie out of your book, Lucky. See, you wasn't lucky because you was lucky to be alive. You was lucky because you had the complexion of protection, and you could tell a lie on any old black man you chose, and it was going to stick because of your little pale, funny-looking skin and your flat, lice-ridden hair. That's what made you lucky, darling. Not that you were lucky to be alive. I would assert that the black man is lucky because them clear people could have murdered him. Look what happened to Emmett Till. They could have took his life based on your lie. And you went back to get more money. And had it not been for her greed, I mean greed and downright avarice, she would have got away with it too. Why do I feel like I'm reporting on a Scooby-Doo mystery? You would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky producer who was trained as a lawyer. And while he's looking at the inconsistency and how the screen adaptation was wildly different from your account in the book. See, had she not been greedy, she'd have got away with it. Over a lie. Baby, people lie in a minute, and it can cost you your life. And in this case, it cost this young man his life. Sharon said these evil people have the nerve to paint us as the devils. Facts. They paint the picture that we're violent and angry and vindictive and evil. When in reality, all the dirt they've done, if we were half of what they said, it wouldn't be a clear person left. CC Miller says, now that's greedy, low down and pure evil. Yes, it is, sis. Nisi Rose says, I would maybe believe her apology if she wants to go ahead and put a screenplay together of the lies she really told and ruined an innocent black man's life. Just pathetic. Oh, she ain't gonna do that. Because right now she probably hoping and praying and shaking in her Birkenstocks that this man don't sue her for monetary damages. Lala Chanel said another question we should be asking is, why is she so comfortable reliving the trauma continue? Thank you. Say it again. See, there's a reason why some of us can't even watch these movies comfortably. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that. Because most of us in here are black women, and we know the stats as it pertains to such subject matter concerning us. Some of us can't even stand to look at that stuff. But she was so comfortable with it that not only did she write a book, baby, she come back over 20 years later, oh, I'm going to put it into film form. And didn't even consider that this man is not out of prison. Hey, leader, hey, Queena, he's out of prison. And so what if people went looking for the person's name and said, oh, this is the guy in that movie on Netflix? Didn't even consider all of the ridicule, all of the attacks. What if some of those right-wing racist groups got a hold to that and decided they was going to lynch this man. She didn't even consider this person's safety or the safety of their family. You took his future from him. You took his whole life, all of his potential. You bottled it up, put it in a trash can, and rolled it down a hill, is what you did, Madam Clear Person. And then you had the audacity, the unmitigated good gall, to partner up with Netflix because you wants to put it in a movie to get more money and make more than make the rest of his life miserable. Deborah Randall say this sounds like a case for Benjamin Crump. I hope he get a lawyer better than Crump. Now I'm gonna say that, sis. Miss Parker says she put him in jail and then want to make money off a lie. Karma has no name on it. Right. And now she looking stupid. And instead of the media putting this front and center, because this is a story that should have been front and center. There is no reason that we should have been hearing about Juicy Jussie for the last 2 weeks. And this just happened this week gone. How? How are we hearing about Juicy Jussie and the slip and slide saga in the bathhouse and his rope net tie? Why are we still hearing about this? Lock him up and let's move on. Auntie Eva said, I never read the book or saw her movies, thank God. Right. Low down and dirty. But then when we point out that these kind of things happen, they say, oh no, it's an anomaly. This isn't really what we do because, look at Juicy Smollett. He made up some stuff. Black people exaggerate. This isn't really what happens. See, this is why they want to promote stories like that. They could have locked Juicy Jussie up a long time ago, and we ain't never had to hear nothing about it. We could have been like, oh, they already locked him up, and that could have been an afterthought. They want to parade Miss Seeley, a.k.a. Travis Scott, around, back and forth, looking like an angry, well-braided cockroach, because that's the narrative that they like to push. Hey, Iridescent. But the narrative of the dangerous weaponization of clear women's tears, let's make sure that does not go to the front page. That's why I said, no, I want to take my time when I had time so we could come up in here and talk about this here thing. Because this here went too far. This went too far. Almost 20 years of somebody's life. How do you reconcile this? How do you reconcile it? Now, if it were me, hey, Stephanie Wharton, if it were me, I was a judge, and this came in my courtroom, I would feel like every dollar she made from that book lucky. I mean, from the time it was released up till now, any money she made from Netflix on a contract before the movie was completed, every dime should be handed over to that person whose life you ruined with your story. Hey, Shamika Davis, I'm so glad you made it. Y'all thumbs up this video, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Y'all please like the video. Help me out. Miss MO1 said they need to remove the movie from every streaming platform, and they should not be able to make another dollar from it. They shouldn't be, but the Lucky ain't even been released yet. She got caught up in it. She got caught up in it. Hey, Catherine Bennett. Sharon says she gonna get that karma, but Jesse was the distraction. Bingo. The government is doing sneaky-ish. Clear women lying on innocent black men, but it's not new. And they always try to paint themselves as sympathetic and victim when they're usually the aggressor and some of the most dangerous people on the planet. Look what they did with that Michigan shooter. He up there looking like a whole psychopath on acid. And when it was time to report who he was, they come posting a picture when he was 6 years old, smiling with his hands in a praying position. They always, no matter how heinous they are, try to present themselves in such a fashion that they are seen as innocent, no matter how terrible, dangerous, cutthroat, murderous they are. What she did to this man was tantamount to murder. You kill somebody and let them keep walking around. This man has no life, no progeny, no children. Let me go on ahead and translate that. No children, because he didn't want his children to have to walk around with that type of stigma. You meant the Lovely Bones should be removed as it was based on her book. Well, no, Lovely Bones was based on a different book. Lucky was the book she wrote about her quote unquote or should I say so-called attack, back in 1981. And she was getting ready to try to get a movie off that one from Netflix. Dana says she need to be left with just her lovely bones and nothing. Right, and the money she made from her book, The Almost Moon. That's all she needs. She don't need nothing else. Ashani say every copy of that book she sells is further damage to his reputation. Precisely. Now they're saying that she did pull the books off of every platform, so there's no way to get the book now if you don't already have it. They say she pulled it down, but pulling it down now, ma'am, is too little too late. It's too little too late. That horse has already left the stall. Miss Gigi say you don't reconcile, you get monetary revenge. And at the end of the day, we don't know what that young man could have been. We have no idea. And so I feel like the amount could be astronomical, because when you're young, your potential is innumerable. It's unmeasurable. You don't know what that young man would have been. We don't know. It doesn't matter where he was at that time. We know too many people that started off homeless, sleeping in cars, and now they sitting on millions. It's people that had a whole lot of real rough starts. That's, now they halfway to the moon. No, you all right, baby. I know it's a lot to follow. That's right. The damage is already done. Damage is already done. They done ruined this man's life for nothing. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, but we already know they not. Okay? Shortcake 1966. How you doing? Good to see you. So that's what I wanted y'all to know about, because that thing really stuck in my craw. And I sat on that from yesterday all the way to today, and I couldn't let it go. I know my sinuses are hurting, my face is hurting, but I was not willing to be quiet and act like I didn't see what I saw. And I knew that it was not getting the coverage that it should have gotten. So I felt like, no, we're going to talk about this, because I had a feeling that the majority of my sisters heard nothing about it. And I was correct. They've done a very good job of distracting us with Jussie and the slip and slide saga. And this is pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. Excuse me, y'all. Well, listen, I was trying to take a few more of y'all's comments before I go, because my throat and my chest and my head is giving me a fit. These sinuses got my face hurting again, but that's okay. I'm still in it to win it. However, I want you all to know you can find this story. All you got to do is just Google Alice Sebold, ALICESEBOLD, and just put exonerated, and it'll give you the entire story so y'all can get more info on it. Like, it's literally on, CNN has a blurb about it, but CNN didn't go into too much detail. You got it on the New York Post and the Daily Mail. Honey, it's everywhere. So if you Google it, if y'all want to get more details on the story, everything else that happened, because y'all know I can only tell you what I saw and what I could, retain. So in all honesty, you may go look and you might get more information than I got. You just might. You say feel better. Nisi Rose say take it easy, please, and rest your throat. I'm gonna try. As soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna drink something hot and try to get myself together. Thank you, Shamika. Auntie Eva say drink your tea, steam your sinuses, and rest. I think I'm gonna take y'all up on just that. But listen, I enjoyed you guys. I appreciate y'all coming in here. I didn't think nobody was gonna be around to jump in here. Thank you, Lita. Sending love right back. I didn't know nobody was gonna be in here this late, because I know some of y'all probably was watching your television shows and everything. And I appreciate y'all being here. I really, really do. All right, Jesse, what you say? Hold on. Say, thanks, Seanitra. We have to get the real somewhere. Thanks for the sources. No problem. No problem. Y'all know when I find some info, I try to let you know where it's at. Okay? Thank you, Spiller. Thank you, Lala. All right, please check on me. Yeah, you can Google his name too, Anthony Broadwater. And his name does need to trend. Deborah, you got a good point. I didn't even think of it like that. So y'all Google Anthony Broadwater, please. Anthony Broadwater exonerated. Let his name trend. Well, one of y'all type it in the chat for Karen. Yep, and please hit the like button on the way out. I enjoyed y'all so much. Thank y'all for being a part of this conversation. And I hope y'all don't mind sometimes. I want to have these conversations when stuff like this starts to happen, or these gross miscarriages of justice, and then the way the media buries these stories. We got to do our part to make sure that we letting them know you might be hiding it, but we see you. Okay? So I'm gonna get on up out of here. Spiller put the name there. Karen is right there. Anthony Broadwater, just like it's spelled, just like that. So y'all, please hit the like button on the way out. If you're someone who has not had an opportunity to subscribe yet, please, what you waiting on? Is free. Go on and subscribe, please. We would love for you to be here. You are highly welcome. Please come again. Please come often. Also hit the notification bell. Make sure that you click all, so you will know every time we go live here with myself and the royal family. If you want to join channel membership, the link to membership is in the description box below the video. And there's also a join button that shows up on some devices. I appreciate you guys again so much. Hey, Nicole Rianne. I love you guys. Y'all be productive, be positive, stay encouraged. And you know what I'm going to tell you. Remember, it's most important to encourage somebody else. And I will see you guys again tomorrow at Good Morning Royals for our morning update. Good night, everybody. Thumbs up on the way out, okay? Bye, y'all.